What's going on, traders? Who's ready to get back into the trading action? I know I had a hell of a day yesterday. Killer trade on Unity. Glad I took my profits after it went down after I made my money. But like always, we're going to get back after it. Who's ready to make some money? You guys know where you're at. It's live trading with Benzinga. Hit the like button. Let's get it started. Let's get after this money.
Winner, winner, chicken dinner. Those words have been dancing around my head all night. It's Vegas lore, that phrase.
Top of the morning to you, my friend. Let's get after it. Let's see what we can find today. And of course, we got my man in the house. You got Ryan Faluna. We're going to get after this market. Ready to have another great day here. Of course, I got my trade the pool ready. I'll get to the action right now. And of course, I've been taking a little bit of the break on the swing trading action as of lately. Just trying to feel out the market. And I feel like, I've had such good profits for the year in swing trading that I don't want to ruin them. And I've gotten to the point where I'm like satisfied, even if I stopped right now and didn't take another swing trade for the year, I'd be happy with my gains there. So it's kind of weird, but I actually been taking a little bit of a rest on the swing trading action and trying to make some improvements here on the day trading action. So especially what's been working lately is trying to keep things simple. Of course, trying to go ahead and take some shots, but if it doesn't work out, really quickly kind of ending the day, because it just seems like lately we've been getting these kind of trends where we want to go ahead and kind of ride the trend for as long as possible, then be careful because the chop comes back in. And I expect the rest of the year to be a little bit choppy. We get some up moves, we get some down moves. Will we break the overall high on the SPY again on the daily? I highly doubt it for the year. I think we're just going to be chopping around from here. I don't see us pass, 459 on the SPY anytime soon. We'll see what happens today. Higher inflation numbers given on the PPI. So we'll see how that one works out with the market. Of course, a lot of stocks have been taking a lift. Microsoft tried to kind of lead the rally. You guys can see how this has been trying to get back up through this trend line. Now we'll look to see, does it get back up? Does it make another move here? Or do we start to reject and come right back down? We'll see what happens on big names. Of course, we guys can keep watch on different names like Tesla had a strong day yesterday. We'll see what happens on NVIDIA. Of course, oil news out there, XOM buying PXD and PXD kind of hanging in there right now. We'll see what happens to these oil stocks. XOM was actually down, of course, off of that buy. We'll look to see if oil can make a move back higher and get back into the 90s. Right now, it's in the lower 80 handles. I think even it was in 84s. Let me just take a quick look. It looks like we're in the 84.90s. The range right now, 84.82 to 86.51. Can we get back to 87, going towards 90s? That's what I need to see oil names get the bounce. We'll see what happens there. Definitely shout out to you guys in the chat. Cheers, you guys. Let's get to the action. It's always good to see you guys in the chat saying hello to each other, and comments like, giving Carmen some love for talking about stocks that she puts up. That's what we're here for, guys, because truly it's not just us that run this. You guys run it also. We have a growing community and want to continue to grow. So do us the favor, whenever you get a chance, just hit the share button and let everybody know that this is the #1 place to be if you want to continue growing your trading journey. Let's get to the action. What are you looking at, Ryan? Let's go ahead and take a look at the SPY, take a look at some of these smaller names, and you guys in the chat, feel free to drop those tickers and we'll take a look.
Mitch, I'm sorry. I'm definitely not going to let you gloss over the amazing night last night and just go straight into the market. I am grinning from ear to ear as a new era starts in Chicago with the Chicago Blackhawks' great 4-2 win over the Pittsburgh Penguins. Where's J2K out there? Has he joined us yet? Do a wellness check on J2K. Make sure he's okay. Anyway, great evening. Ready to attack the market here today before game number 2. Thank you, Lynn and Randy, for the kind words. And I definitely want to echo what you were saying about our community, Mitch. Recently, I've actually taken several trades from our community in order to kind of break the poor streak that I have been on myself. And that's invaluable. You can't put a number or a price on that. I learn My man. The only reason I brought that up, J2K, is because you tweeted me, "Let's go Pens," in the middle of the game while they were winning yesterday. But in any case, good to see you. It was a great game. It was a great game anyway.
That's how it should be. That's how it should be. I'm glad you at least coming in here with a nice smile. So I'll thank the Blackhawks for that.
Thank them for that. It was awesome. Cannot wait for the game.
Good to see it, Ryan.
Against the Boston Bruins tonight. Now, as far as the actual market goes, we did get some data here. Looks like the initial reaction was a pull, and then we bounced to new pre-market highs. We seem to be pulling back now. Looking at the SPY here, it would make sense to, first of all, we're being rejected at this 436 level, which is a level that we've talked about quite a bit. This is a level that we've gone over in happy hour as well. Looks like we're being rejected there. Interestingly enough, I want to see if we can get over yesterday's high. I've got yesterday's high of 437.22. So if we get over that, maybe there will be some continued momentum. I've got 440.07 here. That's going to represent the 50-day moving average. I'll be honest, I really don't see us getting any higher than that. My personal view is that this market is going to keep rolling over. The lows are not in yet. But we'll see. With everything that's going on, it definitely seems like rate hikes are done. I know the Fed has said higher for longer. So we'll see. We'll see how long they can stick with that, given all of the conflict that's going on here. We probably need to see some lower rates. But we're not going to get all that figured out here today. This is just kind of what I'm looking at so far here this morning. Put me in a good mood. What can I say? Let's take a look at some of the smaller stocks because we do have some targets here today. Now, the craziest one, and I didn't see if there was someone already holding this or what was going on here, but the craziest one is going to be TPST. The stock is up 683% as of right now. You can see this stock was 20 cents, 22 cents yesterday. It is currently $1.88. So I'm just going to go ahead and say this. I mean, I don't want to make a blanket statement that I'm not going to trade this, but when I see stocks that are up nearly 1,000%, pretty much any buy is a chase. We'll see if this comes back into a VWAP and holds there and sets up. I would just say be very, very careful. The active traders out there, if you're going to scalp this, if you get gains, do not be afraid to take them because this is one of the stocks that could easily come back quite a bit. 13 here mentioning TPST was mentioned with a strategy in pro yesterday after market close. There you go. I'm not sure what you're referring to there, 13. If you have more details on that, please share. But again, this stock here, definitely in play here today. Tempest Therapeutic shares are trading higher after the company released new data demonstrating superiority of TPST 1120 ARM across multiple study endpoints in first-line hepatocellular carcinoma study. I think I got those pretty well there. In any case, we got a really, really good pop here. Interestingly, this popped as high as 229. And it's really kind of come back in extremely extended. I'm probably going to look for something that's a little bit easier to trade, easier to manage. But I know we've got those gunslingers out there. So again, just be careful if you get gains. Please do not be afraid to take them. I really don't want anyone in our community to take a huge loss if this has a massive knife, especially if it knifes into a downside halt. A couple more stocks we're going to go over here on the movers list. There's definitely some movement here this morning. WHLR, this is Wheeler Real Estate Investment Trust. This actually popped as high as $3. Now, what's interesting here is that I didn't see much news on this. Looks like this is just kind of moving with some of the other real estate REIT stocks. Didn't see any fresh news here. If anyone has it, please share. WHLR, this popped as high as $3. It's already pared back half of that, right? We're down here at $1.50. We're actually much below the VWAP. This one probably a little bit easier to trade than TPST, but that's not saying a whole lot. So we'll keep an eye on this one. This one is gapping. We would look for a rebound here on this one. Vino, this is another one that we've actually traded recently. Now, the one thing I want to point out on Vino, let's take a look at this 5-minute chart. Okay, every time, look at what happens every time we get a pop like this. It immediately comes back in. So one of the things that we can learn right here, like we just saw after this pop, Definitely you want to be selling into this move, right? Anytime you're going to get this upside pop, that is your cue to sell on this stock. Entry is going to be a little bit more difficult. If you find it, come to a level and hold it. Like, for example, right here, we held this $1 level. In the after hours, bang, we popped, went about 67 cents and pretty much round tripped it. We actually went beneath $1 for popping here again. So if you're going to trade this one, you definitely need to buy on the lows, and please sell into that strength. The backsides of these moves have all been gigantic. They've really kind of come back in. The stock has gone lower after every one of these pops. So until we see something different, let's keep in mind that that's probably going to happen again. Next here is going to be FIO. Let me go back to the 1 minute chart here. This is PHIO. This is FIO Pharma. Now there was news on this one. FIO Pharmaceutical presents new data for targeting BRD4 with its Instasil compound. If you want to go into this, you can. Our news desk giving you a little bit more help here. The poster presentation for 2 key preclinical studies of its compound. Conference on molecular targets and cancer therapeutics. So giving you a little bit more information if you want to read the actual PR. It is here in pro. This stock actually popped quite a bit. We popped just above 240. Same deal here. We've really kind of pared back a lot of these gains. So we'll see if this sets up for another trade. But remember, when you see stuff like this, when you see stuff pop and then really kind of come back in, just understand that volatility is likely going to be there when the market opens again. So again, if you get gains on any of these stocks, don't be afraid to trade them. Jay Rice, yesterday, there was what was that? SPCB, was that the ticker? I'm having a tough time remembering because I think this is it. Yeah, SPCB. Jay told us yesterday that this one was no good, right? We had a number of moves. Day traders were probably happy as they were hitting this, but if you held overnight, bang, you're down 30% here today already, and let's see what happens when the market opens. Be very, very careful with these plays. There's nothing wrong with taking short-term gains on some of these things that are volatile movers. That's just how you can keep yourself safe. Next here is going to be TUP. TUP, this is one that we've traded a number of times. This has actually given a bunch of us gains. I traded this one along with the group here. This is, of course, Tupperware Brands. We did pop as high as 180. We've really kind of stopped at that 180. The good news here is that we're above the VWAP at 170. 180 clearly the range to break on the upside. Even so, given the climate of what's going on with everything in the market here, I'm not going to be buying upside breaks. So what I'd really like to see is an entry around the VWAP here for a potential curl and move up. Shout out to 13. You've been hitting a lot of these stocks recently with doing the exact same thing that I just talked about. You're able to take very, very small gains over and over and over again, stack those gains on top of each other. So at the end of the day, it actually looks pretty good. Shout out to you. That looks to be the strategy that's going on with some of these smaller names for the day trade here today. Next on this list is going to be Plug. Plug, this is another stock that we've traded. This actually had a really good day yesterday. Did not give back its gains, which is awesome to see. Now we're getting another extension here today. So up about 12% here in the pre-market. Just like always, I'd really like to see this come into the VWAP and give us a pretty good entry before moving higher. We'll see if we end up getting that. A couple more to mention here. FCell is going to be related to Plug. These two often move together. So just kind of keep that in mind. CNXA here, this huge pop pretty much bled back all of its gains. So this one going to be a little bit more risky. Now, you'll also notice that there are going to be some of the stocks with the weight loss drugs on here. That's moving higher. Eli Lilly, Novo Nordisk. There's another one out there, but I can't remember the name. So in any case, keep an eye on those. We'll go ahead and check the Lilly chart. I see that there are some people in the chat already mentioning this. This up another 3% here. Lilly, this stock, look at this chart. We talk about swing trading here and how swing trading can really be some of the wealth moves. I consider this one a miss. I missed this one. And I have been talking about some of these weight loss drugs for a long time. Just an absolutely monster move here on Eli Lilly. Let's actually take a look at the daily on NVO. Here's the thing. I know the question, I mean, look at these moves. Look at these moves. I know the question is here is, well, they've had these huge moves. Are you chasing here? All of that. Is there more to go? Reality is that there could be. There could be a time in the future where 30% of the population is on some of these drugs. And if that's the case, these stocks go much higher. I'm not saying that that's going to happen. I'm just saying that's a possibility, something to keep in mind here. Full disclosure, I own none of these right now. Wish I did, but I don't own them.
I just think you're way too late to be investing here.
That's kind of what I'm.
The
That's kind of
downside
what I'm
risk
saying.
is 50%. So
I totally agree. And I want to be careful, but you know what, Mitch, the reality is that if I say that with full conviction and we come back 3 months later and MVO is $200, I look like an absolute moron. So I'm just saying,
even if Eli Lilly goes, let's say Eli Lilly goes to 1,000, right? Even if it does go to 1,000, right? Will you be upset about not jumping onto this? No, because we don't chase rockets, right? That's a rocket. Regardless of what you want to think, that's a rocket.
To answer your question, Mitch, no, I wouldn't. Instead, I'd be more upset that I missed the easier or the less rocket-like move early on. That, to your point about this already being a rocket, that's already happened. I've missed the boat on that already. I'm okay with that. I miss things all the time. I'm going to try and hit something the next time. The last thing that I want to do is revenge trade it and try to go after a leg that's going to be more volatile. That's
and one thing that I've been talking about is I've been hearing a lot of negative things also on these weight loss drugs. I've been hearing a lot of negative mental side effects.
I have not. We actually have a member in the happy hour that did this on himself and said that the side effects were mostly physical and believes that these will go higher here. So it's good. It's good to keep that in mind. It's good to monitor those things, but I'm not ready to make a prediction based on anecdotal stuff like that when they go in both directions.
Yeah, I'm just scared about it because at the end of the day, the way that these drugs work is just it creates a lot of psychological effects. And when you're dealing with psychological effects, I think you're going into an area where it's not really something that has been studied in the past. I personally think at the end of the day, if you want to lose weight, go old fashioned, but that's just my thing. And maybe some people might think I'm a little insensitive on that aspect, but the truth is, I don't think drugs are the way to go about it. More drugs, more pharmaceuticals. I actually am one of those people that I get mad every time I have to take even a Tylenol.
Yeah.
So I personally just don't like any pharmaceuticals overall. But hey, let's get to the stock trading action. Let's talk some stocks.
We have been, Mitch, but real quick on that. Got lost there, actually. Forgot what I was. You had just reminded me about something that I was going to say.
Taking like Tylenol.
Thank you. I'm the exact same way. Okay, I'm the exact same way. Full disclosure, I do not trust the pharmaceutical industry even a little bit. Okay, and COVID made that even worse. And I'm not going to get into all of that stuff here, but Mitch, I feel the same way that you do. I would much prefer to be able to do things in a natural way. I don't want to take a pill or an injection or anything like that. As far as weight loss goes, absolutely. I am old-fashioned in that regard. Get out there and exercise, clean diet, nutrition going to be more important than anything that you inject into your body. But that's besides the point. There are stocks making moves here, and we're going to try to capitalize on that.
Yeah, and the big money's already been made on this. I think, at least from my outlook, I would say the big money's already been made, and from here on out, it's like speculation towards the final like kind of release. Also, more along what you'll see from kind of insurances is the big question here, right? Will insurances be willing to pay this? This is the big question. Because if they are, then you'll see some more increase here. We'll see what happens there, guys. Let's get to some other stock action, of course, today.
One sec, Mitch. I got two more small ones, and I'll turn it over to you. I know we only got 2 minutes. This is what the chat brought up. Femi still in play here. This is Sydney and Smoked Tuna. We've been trading this one quite a bit. This actually looks like it's going to try to take out yesterday's intraday high. If we do, I expect this to challenge too. Maybe there will be a trade there. The other one that Smoked Tuna brought up this morning is going to be Binox. This is Bionomics. This actually has a great chart formation, especially on the 5-minute. This sure looks like this is going to try to break out here today. Really, really nice chart formation. Smoked Tuna, have to mention it. Don't see any new news here today. Volume not impressive yet. Let's see what happens when the market opens.
Let's see it, man. It's going to be a fun day for sure, guys. You guys out there, keep throwing up those tickers. We'll keep taking a look. What else you got for me, Ryan? Binox.
I just went over Binox.
No, the question is, will you get Binoxed? I know that you've been struggling with this one. This one's a hard one,
yes, the last time I traded this, I took 2 L's on Binox. So
I know, man. I took one too.
Look,
I took one too, man.
The chart looks good here, though, man. I mean, the chart really does look good here. Maybe we'll try this again in the prop account. 3rd time's the charm, right?
Yeah. Let's keep going, guys. We'll take a look at some other ones, of course. You guys out there, if you guys see anything moving and catching your radar, keep throwing them up there. Yesterday, Plug had a decent day. I'm looking around to see what else kind of moved, right? I mean, it seems like we were getting a little bit of some growth movement, not the biggest move. Now the only question is, can we continue this rally, right? I mean, it's been a 3-day rally. Will we get a 4th day? That's where it gets a little bit hard. I think we can maybe make a first 15-minute run, and then maybe might just go kind of break even towards the end of the day here. We'll see what happens. CPI reports comes in tomorrow. PPI came in hot. We'll see if this can break to the upside. Big levels to watch, I think 371 today. And I'll show you guys that on the SPY to kind of keep an eye out for that. If you look here, we're going to go towards a 5-minute chart here. And you can see in the pre-market action how there's kind of like a trend line you can draw from yesterday's action towards today's pre-market action. And so up here towards right now, right here, can we start trying to get back above that? And then same thing is on the same look as the Qs. Look how the Qs look very similar here. And that's why I said the 371, right? Look how you're starting to get that push right here and starting to try to hold that. So will we make that move up in this space and actually hold above that? That's the 371 spot. That's an area that I'm definitely going to be keeping a close eye on right now. That's right above here. So we'll see what happens there on the Qs if it takes that next step up. And that could keep a lot of stocks kind of rallying.
TPST halted to the downside right out of the gate here. By the way, TPST halted. TUP higher right out of the gate. That first move on TUP was an up move. TUP up. Okay, I'm going to screw that up today for sure. TUP printing 185s right now. High of 190. We'll see if we take that out.
Tuppity tup tup tup. TUP is an interesting one, man. When that thing trades, it's interesting. All right, looking around, guys. NVAX out the gates. Yeah, a lot of these drug companies could be making moves today. So watch out with those drug companies. They could be moving. I try my best, honestly, to stay away from healthcare and drugs and these companies to trade them. I don't trade them very well.
Neither do I.
I could call them long-term, things like that, maybe. But other than that, it doesn't do well. Look at the Qs already making that move to 371.90s. Look at that. Look at the box already filling in there. And so you guys see it. Nice little quick move up here on the Qs. Kind of what I expected out the gates here. Now the question is, will we continue? Like, are we going to 372? Or is this just a kind of a bull trap out the gates? So definitely should be seeing some stocks getting hot out the gates here. Now the only question is, can they stay hot? There's Microsoft, for instance. Like, look at that, right? Boom, big bars up. Now let's see if they can hold this on pullbacks.
BNOX here, big spread, a 13-cent spread. So just really no trade there on BNOX. Just kind of watching it. TPST still halted, obviously.
Stock making a decent move out the gates here is actually PayPal. And there's a lot of bottoming support now around the 58 level. And you could say 57. So let's see if this can get up there to 60s today. Not really necessarily my favorite type of stock, but hey, it is making a little bit of a move today. That's PayPal. You guys can keep your eyes on that. We'll see what happens there. Lucid making a little bit of a jump up. I'm looking around to see what are the best moves in the Qs right now. Meta having a decent day up there to 324s. And man, Meta's on a breakout. It's about to hit a new high, I think, on 52 weeks. So just be careful there. Definitely some strong action coming in Meta. Who's going to get those Oculus 3s, man? Thinking about going to Oculus, man?
No.
Nah?
No.
I think the Oculus 3 is going to be interesting. I'm thinking about it myself.
I'll be honest, I'm good on the goggles. Call me old school, I guess, in that regard.
Yeah, I mean, I played some games on there, and I think as they get better and better, they're going to be definitely more fun to play than, let's say, consoles. But hey, we'll see what happens, right? I think we need to see some big games come out. I'm still waiting to the day that I can rock that goggle and go into Grand Theft Auto and have some fun.
I want to see Mitch with the goggles playing Donkey Kong Country. That's what
I know. That happens almost every weekend. Don't worry about it. No, I definitely like to still play Donkey Kong, even the old one, and I pull it up on the Wii, but I still have my Nintendo too that I could pull out. But on the Wii, you can actually play the old school games. I love that. All right, some solar stocks getting the lift. Of course, they got the lift yesterday after that French news that was out. Of course, that they were kind of increasing solar power and trying to kind of get those stocks to get the lift. And they're still pushing right now. I don't trust this move one bit, though. I don't trust solar one bit here of getting this up action. I think in the long run, it starts coming right back down. So for right now, am I fighting the up action? No, but for solar, JKS. Max N having a decent start here. All right, looking around to see what else is going to make moves. I know Samsung gave us some negative news in technology today, but technology is still strong. Everything green out the gates, leading utilities, consumer cyclical, and communication services. Cyclicals, we talked about them yesterday, how department stores, lodging, and leisure was doing really well yesterday. Let's see if they continue doing really well today. Peloton up 4% here, getting a nice little lift there. Funko getting a little bit of a lift. TripAdvisor getting a push. Expedia pushing higher. This is where it gets confusing. Right now, I don't see the time for leisure to get the lift. But hey, it doesn't matter. It is. Be careful out there, team. You going? I don't know about playing Unity again. It gave me some good gains yesterday. I don't know if I trust it. It fell off like a rock yesterday towards the end.
Tesla strong out of the gate. Good morning, Ron. Good to see you.
All right, guys, just looking around right now. I'm not trying to trade at all. I'm just trying to get a feel for the market. So if you guys see anything, just keep calling out those tickers. I'll definitely talk about it. FXI going higher. Those are China names, right? We talked about Baba yesterday where I missed the buy for literally 2 pennies. And look where Baba is now. I was trying to buy this yesterday at 85.94. It's up to 88.27. So big move there in Baba. Not a bad move there for the China names. Ron talking about Tesla. Let's go to the Tesla Dragon, of course. Let's get through that action, and you guys can see the next up move here, trying to get to the 270s, reaching the highs of yesterday. So that's where we're really finding a little bit of some resistance right now. We'll see if we're able to take that out, but decent move there in Tesla. And I did see some news out there that, and let me go ahead and pull up my news here so I can read it really well here for you guys. The French Finance Ministry official said that most electric cars produced in Europe, some made in Asia, would qualify for subsidies in France. So that could be giving Tesla maybe a little bit of a lift. Of course, they send some of their vehicles from Asia. So we'll see what happens if Tesla gets that next boost. Of course, Tesla also has the Gigafactory in Berlin, in Germany. At least. And so one thing that I've been looking at, will Tesla continue to lift off as you're seeing Ford and GM struggle, right? Will those kind of go against each other? Will Ford and GM kind of struggle a little bit here and Tesla just rip higher? I've been looking for Tesla actually to go down because I feel like demand is going to go down, but I've been wrong, at least on the price action here. And it's pretty strong on the day. What you got, Ryan?
Just still looking around. I got nothing right? yet. I was going to say, what did I say? What did I say?
No, I was wondering if you got anything there, but I'm
not yet.
I'm keep rolling here. Junie talking about XOM. We could take a look at that one. TPST is halted again.
Yes, halted to the upside, 206. MTNB for the penny players going higher here.
Yeah, that volume is just, for me, it's tough, right? I mean, this is trading an insane amount of volume right now. Let's see if this can continue moving the TPST, but it's crazy out there, guys. Be careful on that one. I think, to me, it's just too tight right now. I don't like trading names within 20 cents and that cheap of a price. Looking around, what other ones being mentioned? AI Rod. AI Rod here in the chat. Not Al Rod, AI Rod. All right, Axon. We talked about this one yesterday. Will it continue tasing on up? Seems like this is the taser stock. Guess we all need tasers, Ryan. We all need them.
No comment.
Ryan's like, don't tase me, man.
I have something more effective than a taser. Bio going higher here. Smoke tuna mentioning right above the VWAP there. VWAP at 177. Tried to push away. They're coming back into it. We'll see if FIO gets rolling. No position in FIO for me.
All right, looking around, guys. The Smoke tuna saying FIO. Okay. Well, at least you guys are watching something together there. We'll see what happens on that bio. 182. We'll see. Let's go to some smaller names here. Let's see what I can catch moving on the list here. I got Plug pulling right back down. It was up there towards like almost $8. Now starting to get the pullback. Palantir staying strong here, guys. Will Palantir make the next step up here, guys? Look at that nice little move up right out the gates there towards 1830s. We'll just pull back and get the lift here. That's something to keep an eye out for. Big resistance right above it here around the 1840s. So we'll look to see if it gets the pull back towards 1810s, 18s, and takes that next step up. VWAP bounce. We'll see if we play it. Pull back on NVIDIA and Microsoft. We saw them hot out the gates. Let's see how they're doing now. NVIDIA pulling back here. Microsoft pulling back. We'll see what happens. Can these hold the gains? I'm actually looking to see if we do a 945 flip. If we hold past 945 in the green, I can start maybe taking a look for some green action to the upside. I just don't want to get caught in a fake out to the upside. Taking a starter in Rad, says Wiss. All right. Rad. It's a cool ticker, at least.
Tup trying to take out 2 here on Tup.
Okay, Rad maybe gets back to $1. We'll see. Gets back to $1. It'd be a nice, decent move from here. Looks like it's trying to get that dollar. I think this is kind of more trying to maybe reclaim to make sure that it stay on the exchanges. And sometimes stocks do this, especially penny stocks. They try to get back above the $1 so that they can stay above and still be on the exchange, right? We'll see what happens on there. Rad trying to make a move there towards $1. Wasn't there a hot PPI number this morning? What am I missing? Well, you're missing that the psychology of the market doesn't go with the psychology of the numbers. And I think that this is where a lot of people get things twisted. I talk about this all the time. The market likes to hurt where it can hurt the most.
Yes, sir.
And so with this being said, if you try to think about things as logical, guess what? You usually get wrecked. So what you need to be kind of thinking about is that the market loves to come in and out of logic. What does that mean? That sometimes it does the reverse psychology move. Like we came in on Monday, everyone's scared about the war. It's going to bring everything down. And all of a sudden, what? The market goes up. Why does it do that? Reverse psychology there, right? Everybody leaning one way. So it goes back and sweeps all those buyers or sellers. And this is how it goes. The market is stupid. No, the market just likes to hurt the most. And it likes to think that, you know, you guys lean on one side, so it goes and destroys that one side. Remember, when we talk about the market, we're talking about a collection of money. Trade the pool. All the money goes into the pool, right? The only question is, can we pull the money out of the pool? And that's what I'm trying to do today. Like always, you guys can check out Trade the Pool. See it at the top. I'll throw up the link.
FIO going higher here. I'm not in that.
FIO going higher. Okay.
PHIO. Yep. I'm watching TUP here as I think we might break this too.
Okay.
The problem is that I feel I just spent time talking about buying the upside breaks, and I think that this is going to pop too here, but I'm trying to stay by what I said earlier and not buy the upside break. Instead, buy it on a pullback. Haven't really got a good opportunity to do that here yet. So no position yet in TUP, but this is something that I'm watching.
All right, guys, trying to pay attention to what's coming down here. Defensive names going down pretty fast there. So there's some already in the red. Beverages, discount stores getting hit today. So what did I talk about? Sometimes I was looking for a trade again on Walmart, shorting Walmart. So it's already coming down here. I needed to come back to 158.50s, but it's already getting hit here. Discount stores look interesting for the downside action here. Walmart, Costco, those types of names, I'd be looking to maybe get short. We'll see if I can get a nice short off of VWAP. Dun, dun, dun. DG going lower. Ollie's going lower. This is another one that looks good for a potential short. It's been holding on to this levels for a long time. Will Ollie's just start to let go here? Not bad names. Now I just need things to come back to VWAP and start get a little bit of a bounce. If they get wiped out, well, so be it. But I'm definitely going to be looking for some of these names. Ollie, I'll show you guys that chart right now. You can see how it's down there. 74, somewhere in that area looks decent for me to short off the support. You can see how we kind of rejected the recent action, started to come down, and now starting to make resistance at 75. Well, we take out the support here around the 72.50s today.
Tup did take out that 2. It didn't really pop. It's just kind of grinding higher here.
Yeah, I'm starting to see some of these leisure names turn around, and I'm starting to see what goes into the red today, right? The SPY's back at VWAP. Will we get a bounce here from the VWAP, or will we just trap? This is the 945 move that I was talking about, that I was worried that it could be a trapping type of move. So look at this on the Qs. You saw how I draw this box here right out the gates. Look how we went right to that box, rejected it. Now the bulls want to see this go back up through that box and stay above. The bears, will it come right back through this opening bar? This opening bar, the low right there is 369.88. You go through that, you're going to start seeing maybe some downside action come in here. Let's see what happens. Can it hold this and push to the upside, or is it just a bull trap here? Careful, Mitch. Kramer loves ollies. All right, I'm definitely going short now, Lynn. Oh, man, you know how it goes, right? Big move in GD all of a sudden. I could take a look at that, Chris. Let's take a look. That's General Dynamics, right? I think GD. Yep, General Dynamics. You're talking defensive name, right? This is one of the names that's actually been really good in the defensive area and has gotten pretty hot as of late. NOC is the other one that I would look at, very similar to this. So I would trade them side by side, the relationship right now. So NOC, Chris, which should be trying to trade similar to GD. And so those are ones that kind of keep an eye out for. What you got,
folks, so real quick on TPST, I have it here in pro, Mitch. Sorry about that.
No worries.
TPST got a $47 price target.
How much they paid for that?
HC Wainwright upgraded from 35 to 47. Now, look, take this with a grain of salt here.
Oh, good
this
Lord,
stock
man.
opened, moved back up, or popped as high as 254. Looks like this is going to halt downside 228. TPST. I mean, my goodness.
No touch.
my
No touch
goodness.
That's I'll stay the hell away kind of
Yeah,
stuff.
I was just thinking that, Mitch. I was like, I'm so glad I'm not involved in this one. Oh.
Guys, the thing is that when you're getting halted like that, you got to understand that you don't have a lot of control in that situation. That's where we're talking about how we don't want to be in there. It just seems to a lot like a lot of risk. Yes, is there a reward there? It could happen, right? But the truth is, one of the number one ways to protect yourself is not to get in high risk situations. So it's definitely difficult. Carmen, I'm glad you brought some in pre-market also. But hey, that just goes to show you guys, maybe for these penny stocks, maybe a strategy is better to get to them early than later into the market open. And Carmen's just showing what she did today that worked for her. But like always, we want to learn from process and see if we can attach it to our own. Learn from some strengths from others.
I like what Wiss is saying here. This is how they trap retail. That's kind of how I feel too. I feel like these halts, this back and forth, this is how they're going to trap retail.
Yeah, because it gives them a chance to kind of understand what's in the books, right? And that's why I don't like showing my hand too much. If you guys are looking for stocks that are spiking, there are some stocks spiking out there. AAL not having a bad day, at least coming back a little bit today. Palantir just hanging up here at the top, 1826. Didn't even come to the 1810s. So it's hanging in there. Qs are trying to put in another move to the upside here. So let's see if that can happen. Back through 371, I can start trading to the upside. If we crack through 370s, I might trade to the downside. So I'm waiting here and just looking for the Qs to give me a Q. Haha, pun intended.
ORGN might be trying to take out 118 on ORGN. Just kind of looking around here. Still no trades for me today.
Fingers got to be quick. Got to be quick.
COHR from yesterday looks like this kind of ran into the same resistance area that it did in the pre-market.
I'm back.
What up? Uh-oh.
No, I got it. Throw myself in the corner there.
FIO back up to its highs here. The intraday high print 194 on FIO. It's at 190 right now. Volume building here. This one interesting. Smoke Tuna, did you end up taking this? I know you were trying to wait out the first 15 minutes, but this gave trades here. Rejected again at that 190 area, coming back into the VWAP. Last time it came back in here, it actually overshot the VWAP, so this will be interesting to see what we do here. Got VWAP at 179 here on Trade the Pool, and in my broker, those match.
This is the battle right now, guys. There's so many stocks on VWAPs, right? So if you expect VWAP bounces and you think the market's going higher, well, there's a lot of setups right now to kind of take. I can show you guys some of that. You can see how the Q's bouncing right there off the 370.40 area, 370.30. You can take a look here at Microsoft, bouncing right off that. Amazon, of course, had its Prime Day yesterday. Prime Day still going on today. Will this get the next lift? Keep an eye on it. Apple overall starting to come to the downside there. Google holding up at the top end of the range, and Google's actually coming up here towards daily highs and really trying to push their back towards longer term highs. I'll go through like kind of a 3-year chart so you guys can see that. Are we going to start pushing back to 145, eventually to 152? That could happen here in Google. We'll see what happens. It's been a pretty strong move though.
FIO new highs here. Great job, Smoke Tuna. Nice job on that one. I did not take this one. I'm still kind of waiting this out. But awesome job here, Tuna. Now, it took those new highs and immediately pulled here. So this is one of the things that I was saying, be careful about. See if it comes back in here. Maybe we can give this a shot at VWAP. Let's increase the size a little bit here. I am getting a different reading in Trade the Pool than I am on my broker.
Going down here. Big bars down. I'm going to start looking to see if I can get some shorts on now as I start to see this attempt to the downside. Starting to see some stocks get hit here. So stocks that were really hot yesterday, I'm going to look to maybe get short on some of these like Hilton.
SPY might be rolling over here. Tech NASDAQ at the lows of the day. Are some of these tech stocks rolling over? Yeah, Apple at the lows.
All right, guys, short a little bit of Hilton here. So I'm getting short some Hilton. Of course, I like consumer stocks at the downside. So that's why I'm looking for this. Just got short 200 shares of Hilton. So it's a pretty good exposure here. Don't want it to get back above the 153.80 spots. That's going to be the risk here, about 30 cents. Let's see if this can start to crack and go lower. I'm also going to look to see if kind of these technology names go to red. Right now, it's still kind of hanging in there. Microsoft is kind of getting a little bit of a bounce there. I'm just going to pay attention to the Qs to see if they wipe out. If we could get that turnaround, definitely could see it come down. If it starts to push back through 153.80s, I'm getting out.
Real quick, TPST opened another downside halt, this time at 220. FIO trying to go higher here. It's bounced off its VWAP several times. Smoke Tuna asking, guys, do you feel like Trade the Pool charts are not refreshed properly? No, I don't get that experience at all. In fact, I think one of the best parts about Trade the Pool are the charts.
What time frame are you using?
I did just notice a little bit of lag in the level 2 ladder. Did not match what I saw in my broker, let's put it that way, but I don't have enough information to make a conclusion. As far as the charts go, no, they feel snappy and great to me.
Yeah, one thing that I would say to do there is understand maybe what time frame you're going into. Maybe you're starting to get into maybe the 1 minute chart is starting to have a little bit of a lag. Maybe I'm not sure what time frame you're using. For me, on the 5 minute, I don't get that. But also, what are you set onto the pricing? Because some people have pricing set as last price. Some people have it on bid. So maybe you want to change this to the style. And then you want to do is you go to here in your data type. You right click on your chart, you go to data type. Right now it's default by last. So the last trade to go in. But if you wanted, you could put it by the bid. And that could also maybe help kind of keep the movement a little bit better for you. So I'm just kind of drawing different ways for you guys to maybe keep up with the movement. That's one way to do it. So I have it on the default, but hey, if you guys want to use it on the bid, maybe or on the offer, that could also work. It's all depending on how you want to go about it here. All right, now starting to get a nice little move here. Not looking too bad. Getting a nice little down move here. We'll see what happens if we can start to really kind of wipe out to the downside here and really get some good profits here in Hilton. Going to look for the Qs to really kind of wipe out to the downside here, not get back above that. For the Qs, it would be the 371 move. Look at the SPY coming down pretty fast. That's going to start to drag different areas. Financial services starting to come down. Do I go after the KRE? I seen that drop already. JPM dropping a little bit. Banks still look interesting for me for shorts. So we'll see what happens there. Ooh, Wall. Wall looks interesting for me. All right, so this Wall stock, if I can get this to come back to the VWAP or even just come back like 30 cents. I need this to come back. It's a little bit wide, but this WAL, if I could get this back up towards the VWAP is around 46.80s. If it can get 46.75, I'll take a shot on this one.
Yeah, Jay Wild saying WHLR looking interesting. I'm noticing the same thing. In fact, you know what, Jay? We're going to start right here. 100 shares right here.
Hilton going in the green there for me.
I'm going to take another 100 here. I'm going to wait and see if this comes back in now. WHLR. VWAP at 184. So that's the first move here. 166 day high here on WHLR.
Want to see the Qs just drop like a rock here. Let's see if they do it here, guys. That's going to get my Hilton trade deeper into the green. A little part of me wants to add to the Hilton trade now. Now I'm getting deeper into the green, but I got to remember also Hilton moves fast. So I don't need to stress too much. I can let this work. Hilton's ATR right now on kind of an hourly is 91 cents. On a daily is 3.51. So this stock could easily move that $3 move, right? I mean, it did move a little bit today. It moved about 67 cents higher. So maybe we still got a $3 move to the downside. So I'm not going to go and jump too much right now. I'm just going to let this start to crash. And that's going to get me a really nice profit up about 51 right now. The next move down is through 153s. Once we get through 153s, I'm going to look to take some off around the 152.80s and then let the rest of this continue to work. ARM red is one thing good to note there, Ben. That could be the starting of the downside in tech. And you guys are seeing the Qs do what? Just hang out here by this 370s. I think it's trying to trap bulls to the upside. That's my outlook. But like always, I've tried to give that outlook in the pre-market so that I could understand what I could do, right? Below 369s, definitely could see some downside continuing. Above 371s, you guys see the box at the top there. I drew it in pre-market so that we could watch for that action. Now let's see what happens on the next move. Car Culture TV saying DXY waterfalling. That's interesting to catch. Dollar moving fast to the downside. Pinky's on up, guys. Did I forget my orange juice? Man, I'm going to go get my orange juice, man. I need some of that. This is going good for me, guys. Look at Hilton. Let's go. Let's go, Hilton.
Nice job there, Mitch. Nice job on that short.
Waiting. You guys saw me patiently waiting for this, right? That's what's helping me lately, guys. Just trying to be patient with the market and then just going after it. When I feel it, just go after it, Mitch. Don't need the stress. Just take your trades, see what happens. All right, I'm going to try to take half of it off there at 152.85, and then the rest of that, we can just let it work for the rest of the day.
Bio looks like it's trying to take out that 197 here. Still waiting WHLR. Well, I think that this probably breaks above that 160 area. We'll see. Still in that. Looking around here.
All right, guys. I'll be right back. 2 seconds.
Sounds good. Looks like, Chris, you shorted WHLR. At least you booked some gains there. Good morning, Bex. Nice to see you. Smoke Tuna looking at MOB, huh? MOB. New highs really quick there in FIO. We'll see if that comes back in. Oh, this is Moat. This is the wrong ticker. This is the one thing, Smoke Tuna, that I really don't like. When I start typing, if my mouse is anywhere in this list, it selects where my mouse is. That is annoying. I actually want this stock. Actually, MOB, this is a pretty decent chart here. We'll see if this ends up going. MOB needs a break of that 182 to the upside. WHLR still holding on. Nice job on FIO there. Nice little 10-cent scalp there for tuna. That's a wild one. Glad you booked gains on that. Looking around here. Market's still testing those lows there. 160 up now on WHLR. Let's see if we can take out that 166 high. That would be next. WHLR.
Hey, team, I'm back like a track.
Back like a track. Not sure I've heard that one before, but we'll take it.
Hey, hit the repeat, hit the shuffle. We're going to keep it going here, right here. Of course, live trading with Benzinga. Trade the pool action going hard. Let's go, Hilton. Get short. That's what I'm doing, at least. We'll see if it works out for me. EKS BA, looking at the Boeing life. Yeah. You can't stop that. You got to keep that going.
No, that's the drop is just for day and night, baby. We're going to keep it going day and night.
Look at that move, guys. Q's going lower, kind of what I was looking for. So that makes me feel really confident about Hilton, right? At this point, I can look at Hilton and see, okay, let's see if we can get this down action move, really get it to hit hard here. And he moves back towards my entry. I can even add to it and just keep the risk, right? Let's see what happens here. See if we can get the downside action to come in.
WHLR pulling here. Oh, that's a nasty pull. Really wanted to see this get above 166. We'll see if it's able to do that.
Trying to add a little bit here. There you go. Just got a little bit of an ad there. Now I got 250 on Hilton. I'm seeing the Qs come down. I'm seeing the SPY come down here. Now the only question is, will we do a hard reversal to the upside? Because I don't see this kind of holding on here, at least for Hilton. So now I'm just kind of looking for the real down action to come into the market. Microsoft starting to drop. That gives me a little bit more confidence, right? When we start to see the bigger names start to let go. So I'm also going to look to see other big names start to let go. Tesla, does that let go? Look at that. The chart speaks for itself, right?
Tesla's really pounding lows.
Google, that was pushing to the highs. Will this one stop the drive that it was on? Nvidia, will it just crush through the lows, right? Will Apple start to keep leading to the downside? That's kind of leading the bigger names to the downside.
TPST is open and moving lower here. Low mid 190s right now on TPST. I don't have it pulled up here. I'm still watching the trade. NTNX, this was one mentioned by Tuna. Great breakout here on the daily on NTNX. Let's take a look at TPST again. I'm not going to trade this. I'll just say it right now. Way too all over the place for me. This looks like it's coming in lower here. Should be halted here at 190 if this holds. It did not hold. It popped. Wildness.
Microsoft coming down here, bouncing a little bit here. Just keeping an eye on the Qs to see if we can go through the 369 level. The 369 level is where I start to see these kind of really wipe out. I'm also going to focus on lodging overall because that's where I'm going and trading, right? So let's see what happens with that. We'll keep an eye on it to see if it goes into the red.
TPST doing a good job not halting. That's about the best I could say for it right now. Just been an absolute halt fest. Really kind of hanging out here between this $192 range. There we go. Up above it.
Hilton's still hanging in there. So is Marriott. That's another one that I could get short if I wanted to right around here. So I'm just taking a look at it to see what happens on the action. See if we start to cut down. just keeping a watch on that too. Remember Hyatt yesterday had a really nice move. Of course, it added to the mid cap S&P 500. Oh, not the S&P 500, the 400. But look at the Hyatt here. Look at Hyatt. I'm going to look to see if this comes right back down. We'll see what happens. If this could really crack down right back through the 110s, that'd be a good outlook for me.
TPST moving into that gap on the 1 minute chart from the halt fest here to 10. Crow looks like Crow loaded it up.
Q's going lower here at 369.50s. Could have been an opening kind of trap out the gates. Now let's see if things start going into the red. There's really nothing in the red from the open yet, but energy is starting to get a little bit weak. Looking around to see if there's anything that's going to crack down really big. Technology is the one that's probably the weakest towards the support. But that's also healthcare showing a little bit of some weakness there. I'm just keeping a close eye on it to see what happens.
Real quick here. Smoke Tuna, using the Chaikin money flow indicator on the charts, citing SS Trades. You know who the original OG of the Chaikin money flow indicator was? That was Mitch. Mitch, you were actually the first person that told me about this one. I hadn't ever even looked at that until you had brought it up.
Yeah, the big thing there is just understand the studies, right? And I've done my studies in technical analysis and tried to learn every indicator. Why is that? Not to use them necessarily, but also to understand what they're used, who made them, learn from that. That's why I always get so excited to talk to Mark Chaikin on pre-market prep, because I'm like, yo, this guy's a living legend that we get to interview every single week. Yo, I get no lie, I still get excited to this day. I'm like, I read about you, man.
I don't blame you. I don't blame you. There are guys like that too, where it's just like
these are literally living legends.
I'll give you an example. When I first started, I've told the story a number of times. I'm self-taught when it comes to the market. I grew up, if you will, with YouTube and FinTwit. Guys like Christian Fromhertz, who I've been following from the very beginning, who've just made call after call after call. It's just interviewing them or talking to them. It's awesome. A Christian, friend of Benzinga, obviously.
Definitely. It is awesome. That's just the way to describe it. And we'll see what happens now. Marriott's starting to get a little bit weak here. I'm thinking about adding to shorts, but man, I don't want to expose myself too much here until Hilton gives me first profits. That's the hard part of kind of going and double dipping into a certain area. We'll see what happens here. If the Qs do bounce here, the Qs are bouncing a little bit. Do they get back above the VWAP? That's like my main focus right now.
My trade's boring right now. We'll flip over to yours.
Yeah, so you see Marriott's right there. The VWAP is right here, right above it. And so that's why I'm thinking the short seems to make sense. But it's all dependent on how kind of the Qs and the overall market kind of react here. You can see how the Qs are starting to come back a little bit. The SPY is trying to come back a little bit, but it put a big red bar in. If we can't reclaim that big red bar, I would be a little bit concerned about the overall market today. But it does seem to me like we could also come down maybe ahead of the CPI report. Wouldn't that make sense?
Yeah, I mean, what I want to see here with them, it's too early for me to determine what the candle for today is going to do, right? It's just too early for me. Jesse, I'm with you on that one. Christian, Chaikin, and Triple D. That's gonna. I mean, name a better three. I'll wait. That's pretty awesome. Femi gets okay from NASDAQ, Sydney. What was that for? Not a whole lot of action in here. Oh, regain compliance. I got you. Sorry.
Booking going lower. I'm just keeping an eye on booking because that's one thing that I feel like we'll eventually start to give up. Those like leisure kind of names. Don't expect to see too much travel this holiday season. I actually am expecting to see a consumer slowdown in that even.
I've been waiting for that for a while. I've been waiting for a consumer slowdown for a while. I think it's starting, and I think you're going to continue to see that. I agree with you, Mitch. I think this holiday season is going to not be great for both travel and purchases. WHLR moving to the lows. If it breaks the low here, we're going to have to cut this and call this one an L, I'm afraid. We'll see if we bounce.
All right, so Hilton's still battling here. The Qs still haven't made their move, and that's why I haven't added to the position. But if I could see a little bit of an attempted takedown here below the lows of the 5 minute, 369.42s. I'm probably going to jump on even some more on Hilton and try to really take this down. But I'm going what? Slowly into it, right? And I think that this is what's been helping me. It's the same thing I did yesterday that ended up me into the green. I ended up taking a big shot. So let's see if it works out today. Like always, we never know. The only thing we can do as traders is do what? Keep risk and reward right here on the top of mind. The battle is on, baby. Hilton. You know, I used to work for Hilton, so I feel like
I
they
did
should still
not
pay
know
me.
that. I was going to say, I did not know that. How was that experience for you, Mitch?
Oh, I've done it all, man. I used to do front desk at Hilton DoubleTree in Denver. It was pretty fun. Not a bad job at all, right? I mean, it really isn't that hard to check somebody in. You know what I used to do all the time, though, Ryan, and why I love the job. I was just looking up Benzinga and looking up news and printing out stuff. Man, I would print out like this much papers of like news. And then I'd go home and like kind of, you know, like late nights just reading it and reading about stocks. I loved it because it gave me the advantage of still looking into stocks while I was working and, you know, still doing my job, right? There's the downside action coming in now in Hilton. So I'm feeling good about this, guys. Now I just needed to start wiping out. And one thing that I would tell you is that, so like the refresh, right, that you were talking about, Smoke Tuna. So you see here how the bid is showing lower, but you're not seeing it on the chart, right? This is why I say you got to maybe adjust the way that your data type is coming in if you want to be able to see that, right? So that I can see the bids going down there, 153.15, but it only shows up when the next trade goes through. And so this is why I'm telling you that maybe you might want to adjust that if you want to see it a little bit different. I lived in the Hyatt for 3 months.
I was just reading the same comment. Smoke Tuna always traveling the world here, living in Hyatt's. Breakfast started to get boring. Oh man, Smoke Tuna. No wonder you're short, Mitch. No wonder you're short.
All right, guys, I'm getting this move now, and Hilton to work for me. I'm up 81, guys. I'm getting to the point where I'm about to take some profits just because, I mean,
TPST is trying to trade up and bust through 220. Crow, hopefully you're doing okay in there. TPST.
All right, guys, if we get through 153, I'm going to take half off there. I should be kind of close to the $90, $100. I want a $50 cushion. I'll take it. All right, guys, on the bid right now, 153.05 to try to take some profits here. I can see the Qs getting a little bit weak. I'm going to give them a chance to hit down here. And then as soon as that hits, I'm going to go ahead and take some profits. I even canceled my limit right now. Just wanted to hit down just the tiniest bit. And then I can go ahead and take some profits here. If the Qs go green on this 5 minute, I'll kind of adjust and I'll just take profits there. But I'm looking to see if I can get this next market attempt down. That should give me a little bit more profits. And then I can go ahead and just take half off. Remainder break even. There's 153 starting to break. The Q starting to go lower. 369.70, 369.68. Can it just hit towards the low? And that's going to really crack me through 153. There it is. Now it's starting to crack there. 153.17 showing up. I'm just looking for the break through 153, and I'm going to take half off here. There's the Qs, 369.60s. That's looking good there for me. Just want to attempt through 153 here. And I can take half off here. Watching the Qs like a hawk here. All right, guys, let's see if I can get this here, guys. It's already looking pretty good there for me. I just need a nice little cut through on the Qs. If the Qs can cut through, we're going to be looking really good. At least I'll be looking really good here on Hilton. Let's see if we can get it. Dun, dun, dun. What are you guys looking at out there, guys? Hey, guys, thoughts on DJI? I can take a look at that in a second. Q's trying to break down, but not really breaking here. Still don't want to cut down, so it could reverse all of a sudden. Now we're testing it down a little bit. Here's 58s. We haven't hit 58s before. Big level to cut through is that low on the 5 minute to the left. Will we get the cut down here? I'm being patient, hands on the trigger, literally hands on the trigger. Like all I got to do is lift my mouse. Come on, come on. Just a little cut down through 153s. I want to take the profits. 57 showing up. There's 55s on the cues. Can we cut through the 50? No, we're holding up there. It's about a triple bottom now. Now is when I start to get a little bit concerned for the triple bottom action, but I'm looking for the takeout. There's 369.50s. All right, there's 153.08. I'm just going to take half off there, guys. Pay myself. Now I get to this point where I really feel the cushion, right? I have a nice $46 cushion. I just took half off. I can set stop break even. I can even set the stop at a tiny loss there, $13. Now just let the trade work. Now just completely let the market do the job, right? Hope your finger don't twitch. No, I actually do this often. It's something that I've developed a skill on. Holding the click button. And then if you need to click off, what do you do? So look, I'm clicking on place order right now. What do? You just move it to the top and you let it go. And you didn't click that button. I just taught you guys something right there. So you can click. The only thing that matters is to let go. So, and that actually helps me be faster, right? Because I'm already essentially clicked. All I got to do is now let go. And I do this all the time, guys, especially on fast trades. Your hand needs to be literally on top of the trigger. That's the way I talk about it. And the trigger is that place order. You can't get trigger happy, though. I agree. All right, guys, let's see if this can really start to break. And what will it be the break? If the Qs break that 369 spot, I talked about it earlier today. Will I get that move? You see the 369s fighting right here? Will I get that breakdown? This is exactly what I was looking for. This low of this candle, 369.54. If we can close below 369.54, I'm feeling more confident. If we come right back to 370s, this could actually eventually get me back break even. This is why I took profits. And now I'm looking to expand profits, but only if the market goes in my direction. If it goes against me, I can always get out and save the money. All right, guys. Well, you guys see me, of course, using trade the pool and being able to short stocks like this. If you guys want to be able to get after it, definitely check out, of course, trade the pool. I'm going to throw up the link right now, guys. Check it out, team. Not bad. Were you guys leaning bullish or bearish today? Let me know in the chat. Put a 1 bullish, put a 2 bearish. I know it's a little bit later in the fact, but who knows? The market could still go up. So I'd love to throw that question out there. I spy. SPY still going down. SPY was the weak move today, and it actually led that first move down. I talked about this big red bar and how we started to use it as resistance around the 435.50 spot. Now I'd be looking to see if you reclaim that area today where this big bar kind of broke down and then rejected. If that comes back, then yeah, you can reclaim the day. But if we don't come back to this level right here, I don't think the SPY is reclaiming, at least today. We'll see what happens if we keep coming down. And with this being mentioned, now that I'm seeing these crack, if I wanted to, I could go kind of shorting in the space also. I could go to Marriott and short. Remember, I was talking about this right off the VWAP? VWAP was right there. VWAP was 198.27s. You'd have to risk about 25 cents up to 198.50s. But look at the move already. Nice little move, about 50 cents down towards 197. We'll look to see if it continues going through. And then that Hyatt, yes, the breakfast is getting a little bit boring here as the Hyatt starts to let go a little bit. 110s is the area to watch. If we come back through that 110, I think we could go lower all day. We'll see what happens. Hilton now going lower. Crack that 153. Pay me, Hilton. You guys still owe me some bread. Let's get it. I remember they let me go in the pandemic. But then again, who else didn't who didn't get let go in the pandemic? I wonder why. Doubletree Mitch with the cookies. Oh, good Lord, Lynn. You have no idea how many of those cookies I've devoured. Honestly, I used to be security also. I've done it all, guys. Like jobs with me is like literally a joke. Like you guys can bring up anything and I probably already done it. But yeah, I used to do security also, just like, you know, like night security, unarmed, just walking around, just pointless. You know, you're just pretty much you just call the cops when everything is going bad. But at DoubleTree, man, when I was security, oh my God, I used to devour those cookies. I used to just go up and just grab cookies, and then just take home like 4 or 5. Oh my God, it was bad. Free cookies, not a good thing. All right, guys, what's going on in the markets? You guys seeming a little quiet. I think the bulls got a little bit hit today. In the chat telling me at least that they were looking at what do we got here? We got some 2s, some 1s. Some people were looking at that bullish outlook, and I can't blame them because the market has been strong. That's why I talked about earlier today. Would we see a 4th green day? I think we're starting to battle that mentality right now, right? And it doesn't mean that there's wrong, that it's not going to keep going up. Remember, the market changes every single day, changes every single second. You got to be willing to change with it and move back and forth, right? That's why I like to trade both sides, long and short. Yesterday we were trading long. Today I'm trading short, right? Mixing it up.
And to your point, Mitch, you know, yesterday I joined a trade with you. That was a long side trade on Unity. I'm trying to trade long here today, and it's a struggle, even in the smaller name here. So we'll see if I end up getting bailed out of this one. Haven't added to it yet, but we'll see. We'll just wait and see what happens.
Wouldn't you know it? Look at the Qs. They're going to play a little chop now. They're starting to come back to the 370s, right? And this is what I was worried about, what? The triple or double bottom look, right? So you see this? Now you start to get this look. Now what this looks like, this looks like reversal patterns. So traders that trade reversals, they start trading off of that, right? Like another way to look at this would be like maybe like a SOX L. And I don't even need to look at the chart to know that it's probably doing this. Look at the double bottom here off the 20s, right? And so I didn't even look at SOX L before I said it. And this is what I'm talking about. So there's always different styles of traders. We got to catch those traders. Algos even catch those traders. They're like, okay, so reversals off that 20. Okay, they start to come in. Now they'll look to see if they come in a little bit closer to buy the dip on that. And if it comes back through that 20, that's where the bears kind of hit it on the downside. We'll see what happens if we're able to get a little bit more profits on the day. All right, most my stocks are green today. Caleb, yeah. And the thing is that you're looking at maybe like overall percentage. This is why I also say take a look at from the open. If it's still green from the open, that's green. Where I hate is where I see like stocks that are overall green, but from the open red. This tells us that they're on the pullback in the intraday, but getting some catalyst overnight or something like that to keep them higher.
It had momentum in the pre-market. It had momentum in the pre-market, but when the rest of the market participants showed up, that momentum dried up. That's exactly what that's showing. I'm with you on that one.
Yeah, that's why I like to pay attention from the open. It tells me a lot about the stock. And do I not look at like overall? No, I still look at it, but I pay attention more for what happened from the open because that could also give us opportunities. Let's say it's a really good catalyst, but it wipes out the day traders right out the gates. Sometimes it comes back to hourly supports, and the next thing you know, it's starting to drive back to the upside. We'll see what happens today, guys. If the Qs get back above 370s and start holding here, that's when I might just let go of Hilton. Right now, I have no reason to let go of Hilton. Look at this. It could take out the 153, then take out yesterday's lows, 152.50s. And what? I'm golden here. I don't need to take another trade. This is where I think last time I would probably take another trade, maybe go red on that trade and ruin the Hilton. Just one trade, give me green for the day, give me a good boost in my equity, and keep moving on. This is what I'm going to try to do more and more. So for a little bit there, I was starting to do, and you guys saw it, 4 trades, 5 trades at once. You saw that last week, right? I was doing that. Now I'm trying to adjust, trying to go more in base hit mode, looking for one kind of nice little nailing in trade. Hey, take that base hit, look for the home run. If I don't get it, break even on the rest, get out. Get out green though, which is important for me right now. 153 is getting hit right now. Hilton, let's go lower.
Hatim, good to see you here. Hatim joins us in the happy hour show. Great to see you here in live trading. Asking about Meta. Ryan, Meta breaking higher. What do you think? I think that you're exactly correct. Now, I'm not sure if you've heard me go on my rant again. I will save you the entire rant and just summarize it. I hate this company. I have a moral objection to Facebook, what they do, how they do it. I would not trade this. I put this in the basket like Philip Morris, for example. I don't trade cigarette companies either. However, just to kind of answer your question, yes, this actually looks like this is breaking out. In fact, if we do this, here you go. This is the breakout that you're talking about here. So looking pretty good here on Meta. If you're in this, again, this is just not something that I ever trade. I'll look at this. I know we get a lot of questions about Meta. A lot of people in the chat look at this. Yes, we're definitely breaking out. No trade here for me. Grats if you took it.
Feeling pretty good about this trade here. So now I'm going to start looking for other trades out there. I don't even need to watch this anymore. Microsoft.
One that you've already booked gains on?
Yeah, and I'm letting the market work now.
I was just going to say, letting it work for you. Love it.
Yeah, man. And it really does give you the situation where you get no pressure. And I feel like the more trading that I can do and get into situations of low pressure, that's the best move for me. Because the truth is this business is high pressured already, right? And so the more pressure I can take off myself, the more I should probably be at least in a good mentality, focused on process approach. And that's what gets us to the returns, guys. Smash the like out there, guys. You guys are enjoying the action here. Like always, you guys can check out Trade the Pool. You guys see the QR right on the screen. I know that some of you traders out there watch us on TV, so pull out that phone, hit that QR code. Let me know who's in the Trade the Pool action with us, who's getting that action, who's going to get that 260,000 buying power. I have a feeling somebody in the chat is going to be able to get to the expert level. Even I haven't tried that one. You guys check it out. Get after it.
Yeah, I think so too. By the way, TPST breaking down now here. 188 should be halted or will halt if it's not halted already. TPST.
Dun, dun, dun. That's a hard one, man. All right. So
that's why, look, I'm happy with the strategy or the outline from the beginning. Just stay away from it. I'm happy I stayed away from it. This thing's all over the place. I know it sounds like Crow made money on it. Awesome. Good for you. But I'm staying away from this.
And down goes Frazier. Will the SPY make another low here? Looking for the downside to come in. Of course, SPY leading right now. It feels like the Qs have usually led as of late, but SPY's leading right now to the downside. So let's see if the Qs kind of reject the VWAP here and go lower. So another low on the SPY could crack this double or triple low here on the Qs. I'm looking to see if the SPY goes to red to green here, you get what? A triple bottom on the SPY. So this is how the algos try to trade. And I think that this is what you got to think about sometimes. You see these wicks, it could be tricks to the downside. All of a sudden it scoops back up. So there's never one way. You just got to continue watching levels. And that's what I like to do. And that's why I keep a close eye on the SPY and the Qs. And you guys always hear me talking about if the Qs go to this certain level, I'm looking for my stocks to go to this certain level. Why? Because at the end of the day, the overall market runs a lot of the movement in the market, right? And so you need to kind of keep that in mind, especially when we're trending in any direction in the overall market.
Anyone looking forward to trading Birkenstock's IPO, ticker BIRK, B-I-R-K? Not open yet. We're awaiting open. Anyone planning on trading that one here today? I'm going to say I'm going to pass on that. After watching Instacart, I'm going to pass on BIRK.
All right, Femi.
Got nobody. We got nobody that's interested in BIRK, at least not so far.
No, I mean, I heard some people mentioning of that. To tell you the truth, what's it going to open at? What's the price you think? Because I mean,
46 was the price. That's what it was priced at. Where is it going to open it? I actually don't even know. Let me see if I can find it.
That's interesting. Anyone know when that should trade? What's the ticker on it? It's going to be BRK.
BIRK, B-I-R-K. Bravo India Romeo Kilo.
We'll see when it trades, guys.
It priced
Nothing
it
yet.
at 46 per share. That was the midpoint of the stated range. I don't have any indication on where it will open at this time.
All right, guys, looking to see if the SPY wants to come down here or back above the 435s. Back above the 435s, that's that double, triple bottom look where the algos start riding the SPY, maybe back to the VWAP. The Qs just trying to reject here. So it's still in the battle right now. The battle is going on here. I talked about how the Qs can reject VWAP. That was at 370 right there, or slightly above 370. 370.17. So you can see how it rejected it. Now let's see what happens here. 370s, 15s it went to. Let's see if it goes through this 369.40s. That's the downside capitulation starting to happen. And then you'll start to see maybe like Microsoft let go. You can see how Microsoft's hanging in there. It's trying to make the up move. But if the Qs let go, it's probably going to follow that. Apple's been leading downside action. Look at the Apple's kind of gotten a nice little reversal here. Back through, let's say, 178.80s. The market could come up also. Here's the Qs attempted to break down. Let's see if it breaks down 369.50s. If it comes bouncing back through 370s, well, that could just drive the market back. So let's see the SPY here. Like I talked about it. Is it back above 435s here or below 434.70s?
TPST is open and moving lower now on TPST, 187 back to 188. Holding in there. Not as volatile as it was earlier, which is, I guess, good. But TPST open, no position here for me.
NVIDIA, ouch. Down goes NVIDIA. NVIDIA was one I was looking to short, but it's a tough one, man. Tough one to trade, I'll tell you that. Will we get the takedown here? The battle's on, guys.
Top, good callbacks coming up off that VWAP here on top. This is one that we were watching this earlier. We were really unable to break out above this area here. It's doing a really good job holding in here. We are above the VWAP here. Let's see if we can actually break this. Again, I'm staying away from buying these upside breaks. I'd much rather add at a support level here. Top looking good though. 203 your day high there on top.
Tuppity tup. Watching the SPY here to see if it can crack. It's starting to come back, so be careful out there, team. I might just stop out of the rest of Hilton here. It's going to be dependent on the market overall.
That's why you book gains on the way up. That's why you paid yourself on the way up.
Mm-hmm. And that's why I'm not going to also let it go and ruin those gains, right?
Sure.
Same thing, right? It's just at this point, I'm in a position of strength, not weakness. And I always got to remind myself. And some people sometimes get this feeling like when the stock's coming back to your break-even price that you're in weakness. No, you're actually in strength. You're in the green. So keep that in mind. Keep the strength in your mentality. And so if you need to get out, you can always get out and get back in. That's one thing that I always try to remind myself. I can get back into trade. What I can't do is ruin gains. Ruining gains, now that is bad example of trading. Top of the morning to you. Top of the morning to you. I like it. TPST is just too much, man. That's just,
yeah, it's too much for me too.
That's just to give yourself a heart attack. And I don't know about it. I don't know if I'd advise that for anybody. It's a tough name to trade. All right, guys, it's 10:33. We're going to keep going here towards 11. So smash the like, guys. We do this every single day, and we do this 100% for free for you guys out there. So do me the favor, guys. Hit that like button and show us some support. Here's the SPY reclaiming 435s. Will we make the move back above the 435s, 37s? That's when we start making its way to VWAP. We talked about how that 435.50s could act as resistance. But if we start making our way to VWAP, I'm going to need to get out here. And as you guys can see, Hilton already attempting to get me out a little bit here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set a little bit of a stop above it because the spread is what's widening out here. It's not necessarily trading up here, but I got to be a little bit careful here because of the spread. So I'll set the stop at 1450s here at 153.60s. I don't want the spread to catch me. So I'm trying to give myself a little bit of room here. But at the same time, not going to also give up a lot of these gains, right? So if I give up $15, I'm okay. I still end the day green. I had a nice trade in Hilton and had an opportunity to make nice $200, $300 gain. And that's all I'm trying to do.
You did better than I have today, Mitch. I'm trapped in a piece of junk yet again. Thankfully, we went small, though, so it's not the end of the world.
Yeah.
And we're actually working off some gains from the previous days, so not terrible.
See, I could get stopped out right now for like a 50-cent win, but what does that do for me right now? It's kind of like the SPY is battling. If a SPY just takes a takedown right now, I don't want to get out because this will go lower through that 153. Some people was maybe even add the shares back that they kind of just bought back, right? So they're like, I could short this another 125 and then use my cushion as the risk. That's what some traders do here. Definitely smash the like out there, guys. We're going to keep going, guys. Let's see if I get myself a winner here. Still going to be a winner no matter what, but looking to try to get it to a party and see the downside action just come back in.
Welcome to the party.
Wake up out there. Don't get sleepy on me. I'll wake you up, man. Paul said it's an ugly day. Well, guess what, guys? I just got a little stop hunted there. And guess what? It's right back going down here. So I still got that $31 cushion, right? I'm seeing the SPY come down here. I'm going back after it. Boom. I just talked about this. I can come back in. I'm going back after it, team. Now I'm going to go ahead and risk $20 here. And then what? Regardless, I still end the day green. But I'm seeing the SPY do a little bit of a fake out to the upside. I'm going to look to see if we get this takedown now. Now the Qs come back above 370s and I can instantly just get out too. So one thing that I can tell you guys, if you guys are tech traders, definitely keep your eyes on this move for the Qs because the Qs could kind of lead us back above the 370s, back below 369.40s, and you see the downside come in. Did I go in Hilton as big as last time? No. And I think that's what's also going to help me come back into the name. When I usually go back into the name, I'm going to go in and downsize because I don't want to give up all my gains, right? And so I'm coming in downside approach to just get back in. Trivia, what retailer is hitting an all-time high today?
I don't know the answer to that one. Well, yeah, it is a good trivia question, Jay. I don't know the answer to that. Should we let's take some guesses on that. All-time high retailer.
Drop it in there, chat. What do you guys think? Keep looking, guys. Let me know what you guys think there.
Someone said Sears. No, it's going to be probably one of
that's Macy's, right?
Probably not Macy's. They're really struggling. It's probably not any of the discount retailers like TJX or anything like that. What has Jay been mentioning recently?
That's interesting, man. That's interesting. Look at the SPY there, guys. It did the fake out to the upside, stopped me out. Now starting to come down. Look at that. Now I'm looking to see if this double or triple low cracks. So I'll zoom in here so you guys can see all these wicks. So you see all these wicks? Will we crack through on the SPY and go lower here?
Carmen's saying Lulu. That's not bad, but I don't think that's at the highs. No, it's definitely not. Is it Abercrombie? Is it ticker ANF? Abercrombie?
ANF, baby. That's a good guess.
Let's see. It is. Jay, here we go. Jay, is this it? Is this it, Jay? Abercrombie and nope, it's not all-time highs. Nope. No, because
ANF
wait a sec. Jay is saying that Ben is correct. What did Jay say? An all-time high. I don't know, Jay.
You might need to pull your charts back a little bit further, Jay. Got to mess with Jay at least a little bit, man. I don't think he caught this action way back in the days, but I could show you guys that. Let's go to the daily chart here.
Here, I'm going back to you, Mitch.
Yeah, I'll show you guys this right now. We got to go back a pretty decent amount. We can go back all the way up 20 years with trade the pool. So look at this action here, guys. So if you go back into the 05 period, that's when you're going to start seeing it. And looks like I don't even have the data there to get back there, but I'll show you guys it right here. I'll pull in my TC right quick to show you guys this. So look at this chart right here. Look at ANF. You see here in 07, 08, when I was, just in my high school prime days, well, there you guys have it. It was up there towards 83. So I don't say all-time high here, but hey, A&F, crazy one. AEO isn't doing too bad either. Will this start to play catch-up? I don't know, man. Who the hell's buying at A&F and AEO? You guys let me know. Do you guys have some, teenage kids or some younger kids that are shopping here? It used to be the bomb. Yeah, it used to be the bomb.com.
I used to wear it. I used to buy it. I used to love Abercrombie stuff.
Oh, I couldn't afford that Abercrombie life. I was on that American Eagle.
I like how you it's just such an easy attempt to make me feel bad about saying something. You're just really good at
that. You know how it is, man. Man, it was expensive, those things, man. They weren't cheap. Especially like, yeah, there you go, Chris. We'll go with the cheaper one. Aeropostale, baby. The cheap version. Let's go. Hey, you can't go wrong with them. Guys, just let me win with something. I got you, Ben. You won, man. You won, Ben. Don't worry. We'll give you the winner. You get your Taco Bell today, man.
You have the Taco Bell as a soundtrack. That's funny.
Oh, hell yeah.
That is
important.
funny.
They should pay me for that every time, but they send me like a little coupon for like a little taco every time I play the bell.
Beck saying never shopped there, too preppy. Yeah, that was definitely so.
Yeah,
when I was younger, I was swinging from the different click groups. I went from
extremes,
I went from wearing
90s.
like Jinkos and kickwears, the really wide jeans, to wearing Abercrombie like over one summer. I totally get that. I totally get that. And full disclosure, I don't think I have any of my Abercrombie clothes left anymore.
Yeah, I mean, at least
shout
we
out
know
Costco for being that retailer.
Shout out Costco. Bring some clothes to me, Costco. Keep them cheap. Let's go. Speaking of Costco, we were talking about Walmart earlier today. How'd that keep trading here? Ooh, Walmart's coming back here for the short. I like it. I like it, guys. Ooh, I like this. Just need to keep my eye on the Qs and the SPY. Qs are starting to reclaim. That's why I'm watching the SPY here at 435s to see what happens. Qs are coming back, but the SPY isn't. And so what will happen here is something definitely to keep an eye out for. Walmart's starting to come, SPY starting to come down. I'm thinking about shorting Walmart here. Just got to be careful, but it doesn't look too bad. I like it, man. If I do it, I got to do it small.
Me too, mystery man. That was the phase I went through before I went through the prep phase at Abercrombie and Fitch.
Yeah, I would say, it was interesting times, right? Just changing back and forth. I mean, I remember probably 5 years before that, I was rocking the My Chemical Romance shirts and shopping at Hot Topic. The good old days, man. Hot Topic. Son. There you go. The real baggy
and
fans
stopped out of WHLR for a loss. So that was not a good trade, but moving on. First stop is your best stop, folks.
And the best part is before the Hot Topic, what was it? It was rocking the and ones, right? I'm with you, DJ. I wanted my and one mixtape. I could still do some of those moves.
Dude, let me okay. So the and one mixtapes. Dude, me and my friends used to go practice and one moves after school when those mixtapes came out. That was back in the days where VCRs, where you would, if you were able to get your hands on one of those mixtapes, you would try to record that and dupe that. Oh my God, that was awesome. And then when YouTube came along, you just had them. You just had them all. So, oh man, good times with the and one mixtapes.
All right, guys, I couldn't help myself. I got short some Walmart there, but I only went after it with 50 shares just to kind of get a little bit of a smaller trade here. I can't help myself. I've been talking about Walmart short again all day yesterday. It comes to go one of those trades where if I don't take it, I usually get upset at myself because I see these levels. And if I don't take it, Then I get to the point where I'm like, dude, you did all the hard work, but you didn't take the trade, right? That's the hard part. We'll see what happens. Hit the rally horn, hit the like. We'll see what happens here. I made a mixtape in my younger days.
Hey, look, massive shout out here. I still have my Kickwares and Jinkos. Now, I don't. I used to have both of those. I don't have them anymore. So props to you, Bex, for still having those. That is some wild stuff.
All right, guys. SPY is going to make a big, important move here now. We got to continue to watch the SPY. I think that's what's the most important move right now to kind of keep an eye out for. The Qs are back below the 370 move. Look at this SPY and this wicking action here on the 5. Look at this. This is incredible. This is the wall. This is an algo wall. Will it blow through that algo wall? That's what I'm looking at right now. Look at that wicks, man. How many wicks is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 wicks to the downside on the 5-minute. 6 wicks to the downside. That's incredible. I was a South Pole type of guy. Yeah, no worries. I got that. I had some of the G-Unit. You guys remember the G-Unit shirts? Oh, man. I found it all, man. I grew up in Miami, you know? In Miami, you had to stay with the times. Here's that downside action going towards those wicks. Can we get that downside to really kind of hit through here? If that starts to hit there, I should have a nice little gain there in Hilton and Walmart. So we'll see what happens. I'm taking my shot there. Let's see if we can start to come down.
25 years later and they still fit. That's saying something. Props to you. Props to you. Let me say, I'll tell you something. There's no way that clothes from the era when I was wearing those still fit me. No chance.
No fear, baby. No fear.
Richard's
Ryan
asking if I use an audio volume app. I'm assuming what you mean is for the microphone here. I use the app that is native to my audio interface. I use a Go XLR, so I use the Go XLR app that contains all of the noise gate and the EQ stuff.
Getting some questions asked on ILMN super sticker coming in. So shout out to you, Abo, for the super sticker. A good little Taco Bell for me. I'll take those euros, man. Let's get after it. Let's talk a little bit about this stock. I'll show you what I see on that stock. I got you. At least I'll let you know what I see. Like always, you guys choose your own levels. But what do I see on this chart? Well, I go first, and I always start with the daily, right? And what do I see immediately? I see resistance at 140. Just kind of like as simple as that, right? Sometimes it's about keeping things simple. So 140 is the first level to watch for recovery. If you're looking for shorts, that looks like resistance to maybe short off of near. And now the big thing that I would be watching for is, do we break this trend line, right? Because if you start to break this trend line, then you start to move on the downside angle, and you can come right back towards that 130. And so that's one area that I'd definitely be keeping my eyes open for to see what happens in those situations. Today, it looks like it's coming back towards support. Break of 135. I'd really be careful about this. But overall, this stock has just been on a huge decline. If I rewind and I look back, yeah, this stock was at 300s back in 2020, and it was at even 521. But from that top, where the stock is now, essentially, this stock is down 73%, 74%. What does it take to get back to the 500? You need to go up 283% now. So what does this tell me? It's going to have extreme overhead supply moving forward. So do I like this stock as an investment? Maybe if you guys feel like this is just going to completely change story. But other than that, I feel like you're catching a falling knife. You got to be careful with stocks that are falling knives, right? Not saying that you can't be in this, but just saying what I see there, and it looks like a falling knife. Intraday action, I can
NVAX, big pop here, good call. Tuna.
NVAX is good to watch with healthcare names. Healthcare names, of course. NVO was the company that had the news this morning. Look for that to take out 97. If you're looking for those healthcare biotechs to maybe go higher, that's one to keep an eye out for. NVO goes through 97. Maybe you still get that NVAX move to continue higher. So NVAX is pushing higher there. Lilly could get a move higher off of this, and you guys see how Lilly was pushing on that. So keep your eyes on those. Look at Walmart starting to get in the green there for me. Let's see if this can really start to break down. Will the SPY come back? That's what I'm really keeping my eye on, because the SPY just shoots back here, and we're going to be a little bit caught on the short side. So you can see here, look at the seventh wick is trying to happen here. The seventh wick. It's crazy, man. All right, guys, what are you guys seeing out there? Looks like we're starting to get a little bit of some slowdown. The SPY hasn't moved really in kind of since 10:15. It's 10:45, guys. It's been about 30 minutes of just sideways action here. What about
Richards? When buy volume comes in hard, there's a high pitch. No, man, I can't ever imagine voluntarily putting something like this on my computer. I would be. That's not for me. If that helps you, I'm sure you can find some. I can't help you with this one. I would never do this. I would never do this.
Yeah, I'll tell you the crazy things that I've done. So crazy things that I've done in trading is like, let's say, use like a heartbeat monitor. So I've used heartbeat monitors to try to keep my emotions down and try to focus on taking trades only when my emotions are down. That kind of worked, kind of didn't. It was kind of like back and forth. I noticed that at the end of the day, my emotions are always going, my heartbeat is always going to go up in trades. Now, the only question is, am I at a running pace or am I kind of more at an even keel? Those are things that I've tried to take an advantage, find some edge. I think all traders try to find things like that. I've tried to trade colorless. What does that mean? Turn these colors like just straight white, where it's not red or green, it's just straight white. And that actually worked for me a little bit. Ryan, I've tried it all, man. I'm that kind of guy, man.
Yeah, I mean, look, I'm not faulting you for trying. Props for trying, but the coloring
right?
thing, I mean, who thought that was a good idea? We were here, we were live when Zunaid tried that. Zunaid tried to copy, I think it was Swing Pony, for changing some of the colors on her candles, and Zunaid was lost that day. I don't. To me, that just seems like a gimmick.
Back, guys. SPY coming back. The seventh wick came with what? A reversal to the upside. And so at this point, it's a little bit dangerous to kind of stay in these trades. Just got to be smart, lower down the risk. If I do get stopped out again, hey, still be it. Right? And at this point, I just got to be smart. We should have started to break down. SPY starting to come back. That means the Qs get an opportunity to reclaim the market. And so you could see tech names start to work their way back here. You see how the Qs are going back above the 370s with a nice bar. Now you're starting to get that full reversal action here. So this is what I'd be watching now to see tech trades go to the green, and you could get right back into the green. All of a sudden it's going right back in there. So you see how it's starting to push now. I'm seeing the reversal happen right here. Now let's see if it really starts to take off. SPY would take off also. So that's one thing to keep an eye out for. And look how the SPY is right back towards the VWAP and starting to push now. Those wicks sometimes can be tricks, guys. We'll see what happens here if we get a move back down, but I could get some stop outs here and just probably end the day. Because, I mean, unless I want to go trading tech to the upside. If I did, I would be looking at probably Microsoft through this VWAP.
Or Apple through its pre-market highs.
Yeah, something like that, right? And go to the bigger names, see if they can hold now. So like a trend line here, approach on Microsoft. You could draw the trend line here from the action. You draw this part where it starts to move up. Now I'd be looking for pullbacks somewhere in here to kind of buy. And then a risk has to be down here towards the support. Somewhere, let's say, if I'm risking down here towards kind of the 330.80s, or I can risk down here towards the 330.50s area if I want to go ahead and risk off of this area. So this is the outlook now for Microsoft. If you guys want to take that, that's up to you guys. I'm just drawing the trade. I want to always be able to give you guys trade ideas. Now, it's always up to you guys to determine if these are the best trades for you. And like always, one of the number one ways in day trading that traders get killed is over trading. So I just want to keep that in the forefront of your mind. If you're catching yourself over trading way too much, maybe try to think about what are the true higher quality plays that you want to go after.
TPST open for those that are still trading that TPST.
All right, like always, check out Trade the Pool, guys. You guys see me having some good fun today and being able to trade a lot. There was a trader here yesterday that just said, hey, I only have $100. Where can I trade? Well, it's going to be hard, right? The truth is, at $100, there's not much to trade, but there is ways to do it with Trade the Pool. And that's what we're all about here, is trying to find ways for you guys to continue trading. So you guys always can check it out. They do have a nice small kind of battle that you guys can get after. So you guys check it out now, guys. So you can get one for under $100. Nice little package.
Medical device field just getting smoked today. MDT, even INMD, which should be a trade alongside. By the way, TPST more highs now. It's going to be halted here at 256 on TPST. Grats to any of you that trade that. Again, that stuff's just too risky for my blood.
All right, guys, I'm seeing these healthcare names, kind of Regeneron. Well, Lilly getting a nice little pop there to 600. That looks good. I just talked about the NVO trade. Would that go higher and then start to see that kind of get the lift there? Look at NVO here, up there towards 97.20s, starting to push there. NVAX, will that go higher? Now off of this, let's see if it goes through 8. This could halt soon eventually. How much is this pushing already? I'm not too certain on NVAX's price there, but it's a pretty fast move there. It's only about 3.5%, so it's not 10% yet. But nice move there on NVAX. If I measure the flag on NVAX, that's 38 cents higher from the breakout. And what I'd be looking for is to measure from there, 38 cents puts this somewhere closer towards just above 8. So that's just measuring this flag. 38 cents on this flag, you draw a trend line, and from that break, do we go up 38 cents, right? So from this 770, 38 cents, 808. That's how sometimes you can calculate risk to return and a target off of a pattern. Up 1, down 1, up 2, down 2, up 3, down 3. Boom, boom, breakout, rule of 3. Sometimes works. All right, guys, it's 10:55. We're going to start wrapping it up here, getting you guys over to All Access. That's coming up next. Don't go anywhere, team. We always got great education, great stories to unveil right here on Benzinga. And like always, that's what it's all about, is trying to get to the next opportunity, right? And as traders, there's thousands and thousands. It's an endless pool of opportunities. And that's why we try to bring in different ways for you guys to come after it. Uncovering the stories here at Benzinga is what we're truly all about. Let's see what else is going on in the market today. Of course, the SPY starting to work its way back, and putting in a big bar is going to help those tech names start to work back. We'll see what happens if it eventually rejects the VWAP of 435.50, but it is starting to work its way back, and the Q's also doing a big move now to the upside. Will this reverse the day on the market? That's something definitely to keep in mind as you're seeing the Q's try to push back towards the 371 and 372 area. That's probably going to do it for us today. Any last comments, Ryan, on the market, or just maybe enjoying the day?
Yeah, well, so for the market, I really want to see what the SPY candle looks like when it closes. So I've got no trouble being patient and waiting out the rest of the day. As for non-market stuff, go Blackhawks. Can't wait for the next game here tonight. Take care, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow.
All right, guys, going to get you over to All Access. That's coming up next. Don't go anywhere. I'm waiting to get the okay from Michael. I think he's setting up in just a second. He'll be with us. So definitely smash the like, guys. I'm going to keep watching these trades as they keep happening. Of course, you guys, like always, can hit the like and keep up with all the action right here on Benzinga. And you don't got to go anywhere, team. This show is going to keep going. So keep talking some trades in the chat, letting know others where the market's going. You don't have to leave by any means. Listen into the story that we'll have on All Access and keep trading, because that's what I'm going to do. There's nothing wrong with it, right? We'll see what happens on Hilton. If I'm able to get some more money to the downside, Walmart to the downside. And Walmart's actually looking pretty decent right now as it starts to go lower and lower. I really don't want it back through 158. We'll keep an eye on it there. But the overall market is trying to come back. It's going to be a battle of that 435.50 for the SPY. We'll see what happens there. And we'll see if some discount stores start to work its way back. Ollie's was another one that I was keeping an eye out for short. I know that someone in the chat even mentioned Kramer liked this one. Man, I should have got shorted, man. Like I said it right out the gates. But this is definitely going down right now. We'll look to see if it cuts through the 72.40s. Hilton was a pretty decent trade. Overall, going to end the day green. Can't be mad about that. Got to keep battling in this market. There's only one way, is to keep getting after it. Now, Microsoft holding that pullback. I talked about how that opportunity to buy this pullback would present itself, and that's exactly what happened here. Now it's all on, does it take out this high? That high right there is 330.82. We'll look to see if it takes that next level up and goes higher. But that's going to do it for us today. Like always, keep up with all the action right here, of course, on Live Trading with Benzinga. Coming up next, you guys, of course, have Trade the Pool. Don't go. Coming up next, you guys, of course, have All Access. Don't go anywhere. Like always, if you guys want 260 buying power, check out Trade the Pool. I'm going to go ahead and bring on the man himself, probably best dressed, at least today on Benzinga, my man, Michael Murray. What's going on? How we doing, my friend?
Morning, Mitch. Great day today. How are you doing, man?
I like the gray. I like the gray. Is it feeling gray outside? I know fall's starting up, but
it's cold. It's cold. It is it's definitely football season. It is pumpkin season and donut season and all of those things that Michiganders like after summer. It's cold, but the Lions are winning, and that's what I know about Detroit right now. That's really all I care about. So we're good.
Hey, I know who else is winning. You, my friend. Get out.
Thank you very much, Mitch, and appreciation to everybody this morning on the show. We are going to go ahead and dive into Benzinga All-Access in just a moment here, bringing on a very special guest from Lophos Pharmaceuticals. Before we get started, let's roll our intro, and then we'll go ahead and get into All-Access. And welcome in, Claire, the CEO of Lophos Pharmaceuticals. Thank you so much for joining us here this morning.
Thank you, Michael. It's good to be here. How are you?
Doing great, Claire. Like I said, it's cold here in Detroit. We're definitely getting on into fall, but we are still having fun here. And of course, like I said, it's great to have you on Benzinga All-Access. I believe for your first appearance since we started partnering up with Lophos and bringing your story to our retail investors. So we're excited to go ahead and dive into it. Let's, as always, start with a quick overview of the company. Can you describe what Lophos Pharmaceuticals does and what you guys are?
Yeah, so Lophos Pharmaceuticals is a mescaline-focused research company that is also engaged in the cultivation and sale of peyote cactus, otherwise known as Lophophoria williamsi. Lophophoria williamsi, or peyote cactus, is legal in Canada due to an exemption that exists in the Controlled Drugs and Substance Act. And, we really focused on this medicine for a few different reasons. One being that it is a traditional psychedelic medicine that has been used for over 5,000 years in indigenous communities. And the other is that its active ingredient, mescaline, shows an extreme amount of promise as a phenylethamine to treat indications such as mental health.
Understood. And when you talk about peyote, right, first and foremost, what benefits does it bring over traditional pharmaceuticals? Other psychedelics like psilocybin, I'm sure a lot of people in our audience are familiar with that, but what benefits does peyote bring to the table that these other traditional methods don't?
So when you're looking at peyote, this is a medicine that has existed in indigenous communities for millennia. It is generally regarded as safe, and it carries an exemption not only in Canada, but also the United States. It is used for a variety of indications. We talked about mental health treatment, but there's also alcohol substance use treatment, as well as even physical uses. But when you look at the research in this area, it is severely lacking. And that is one thing that Lophos is very excited and that we're really focused on, is furthering the research in this area for that particular reason.
Absolutely. And talking about the research specifically too, something that I really want to highlight is you guys are North America's largest cultivation and research center for peyote specifically, which is a huge calling card for Lophos. Talk to us a little bit about your production capacity and what kind of operations do you guys have at this plant?
That's correct. One of our most proud achievements that we've recently had is in the receipt of our it's called a CSDL, controlled substance dealer's license. Now, this gives us the ability to not only, cultivate in-house, but to be able to study what we're cultivating. To be able to extract mescaline from peyote requires a controlled substance dealer's license. And so our site, which is located in Ontario in Napanee, is 10,000 square feet. It was purpose-built. It has a state-of-the-art laboratory that we are very, very proud of. And we have the ability to house up to 180,000 peyote plants on site.
Amazing. And not just the size and the production capacity that you guys have, but also the cultivation process specifically. Let's talk about that. You've mentioned a process that you have developed that cuts down the time from 13 years for cultivation to 3. That's a huge difference. You're cutting a decade off the cultivation time. How was that possible, and how did you guys develop this?
So this is something that is very exciting and something that I'm particularly excited to get the word out about. One of the things about peyote in particular is that, especially in the United States and the small region that it grows, it is severely endangered. And there's some experts that are estimating peyote could go extinct within our lifetime on these traditional lands. And, the perception there, so in the wild, peyote can take 13, some cases 26 years to produce a seed, to be able to carry on that chain of life. And one of the most amazing things that we've been able to do is to improve that grow environment, to really specialize it and control it in order to prevent peyote from going into dormancy, which allows the seed producing capacity to be increased. So we're able to cut that down to as low as 3 to 4 years to produce that seed and continue that chain. And that is something that a lot of people are just not aware of, that it is possible. And we hope that by sharing this information, that people who may be seeking this treatment in the United States, they'll be able to look at a different method of sourcing. And I think that is very important, and to be able to source it from a licensed producer in that regard as well.
Amazing. And you mentioned the traditional lands a second ago. I want to focus in there for a second because I think it's a very important topic that may not be discussed as often as people might expect. But when it comes to respecting the traditions for the indigenous people that had these lands and that peyote was traditionally associated with earlier on, how do you guys respect the traditions and maybe make sure that you're carrying those on into the future?
Well, for us, this is of utmost importance. And I think it really goes back into how Lophos was founded. We founded Lophos in 2021, but it really started during the pandemic, during the height of the lockdowns, when my husband and I began seeing the incredible research that was coming out of the psychedelic sector. My husband, who has indigenous roots in Canada, he is Ojibwe, and myself, who has an industrial biotechnology, pharmaceutical manufacturing background, we really saw how we could couple this traditional use with being able to improve access to the plant, especially in Canada, where we do not have access to the homelands where it grows. Where it grows. And so, when you're looking at the traditional use of peyote, it is considered a sacrament, and particularly on the specimens that are harvested from where it grows. And so when you're looking at the ceremony and the applications of how to use peyote in that sense, you really need to seek an elder to be properly educated on that aspect. What I think is really important, especially in Canada, is improving the access for those that are interested in seeking this medicine. because it is, the exemption in Canada applies for all. It's not just for Indigenous peoples. And so respecting the fact that you should source it from a person who, or a company that is ethically and sustainably cultivating peyote is truly important, not only for the fact that peyote is endangered at risk of extinction where it grows, but also in respect of those that are using peyote as a traditional medicine that is a sacrament. And it's of the extreme importance to protect that.
100%. I very much respect that. And when it comes to current operations and what you guys doing, you just received your CSDL, the Controlled Substances Dealer License. What does that mean for Lophos? What are you going to be able to use this for? And how might this be a catalyst for you guys moving forward?
Well, that's a great question. For us, the CSDL is a game changer. It really opens up the avenues for us to be able to create our own IP, to study this amazing plant. Peyote is very unique, and those alkaloids, each one of them has its own indications and possibilities. And so being able to further the research in this plant is of the extreme importance, as well as doing things like preserving the genetics, and researching the different variations. All of these things we're very excited to further in. But then you also look at the active ingredient, the psychedelic component, mescaline, and there's quite a bit of promise there. Traditionally, to date, we've seen a lot of talk and a lot of investor dollars go towards tryptamine, such as psilocybin, LSD, very cerebral psychedelics. But we've also seen a lot of success with phenylethylamines. MDMA, which is a phenylethylamine and shares a lot of the same properties that mescaline has. It just really excites us into the potential that this molecule has. And we're very excited to be championing that. And through our laboratory on site, we've done a lot of work in investing in a lab that can not only service our needs, but for others in the industry. And that's something that I think sets us apart.
Absolutely. The biggest changes, let's talk about that for a second, that you're seeing in the mental health treatment space, because 10, 15, 20, 25 years ago, we weren't discussing methods of treatment like this at all, right? It was really kind of one of those things that had a sort of signia on it where people didn't discuss treatments like these as being something that could actually be used. So the biggest changes that you're seeing now in terms of acceptance or new methods of treatment or new thinking around that, what are you seeing in the industry right now?
It's very interesting what's going on in the industry, and with mescaline in particular, which it has this history of being very for a lot of the generation that went before us, it was their experience with psychedelics was mescaline through the introduction of the Doors of Perception and authors like Aldous Huxley and through others in that time period, as well as the government doing research into mescaline use. And so you have this chunk of information that exists in the 30s, 40s, 50s, and then when we have the war on drugs take place, everything quiets down. And for me, it's just amazing and just so invigorating to see that this is being picked back up. I think we're all intimately aware with the mental health challenges that we're facing in the world today. And, the treatments that are out there are, largely regarded as ineffective or slightly effective. And what we're seeing with psychedelic therapies is true healing. And that is something personally that really motivates me and it makes me excited to continue in this kind of pioneering fashion.
Absolutely. Claire, a final question for you when it comes to the excitement of this pioneering industry and what you're doing in it. A thought leadership question for you about your industry. As you're moving forward and you're starting to see the acceptance and discussion around these types of treatments, will psychedelics or drugs derived from psychedelics ever supplant SSRIs in the dominant treatment paradigm as we move forward into the future? Do you see that happening?
100%, without a doubt, I see that happening. I think this is in our lifetime, this is going to be the biggest news story is how we've finally learned to harness these medicines and to our own benefit and to see real change in mental health treatment. I think we're at a precipice right now where that is truly needed, and it's for everyone in the world. And so it's so exciting to see that we've moved through this kind of arc of understanding of this very strong medicines, and now we're finally moving into a place where we can use them and we understand them better and we understand their potential. And it's very exciting to be at the forefront of that.
Absolutely. Well, Claire, it's very exciting to see what you guys are building. Very happy with all of your progress. Congratulations on some of the recent achievements you've seen, and we look forward to talking again soon. Thank you so much for joining us here on All-Access.
Thank you. Have a great day.
It's our pleasure. Claire Stawnyczy, their CEO from Lophos Pharmaceuticals, joining us on Benzinga All-Access, just received their CSDL and some other major achievements when it comes to the business over at Lophos. Very excited to have her and the team with us this morning. As always, that'll wrap us for Benzinga All-Access. Until the next time we bring on a company to give you a sneak peek of what's going on in the small cap industry. Until then, see you next time.